on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
They'll come out throwing here on first down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there, 81 yards. And the Saints have taken the early lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Lutz now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
And they pick up. .25 as they convert on third. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. Man, what do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And able to find Green. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Well, that'll get him to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Being chased out left. And that's going to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw now on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. Wide open receiver, complete. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. In for the score. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-all is the score. We're back to Atlanta in just a moment. This is the NFL, and you're watching EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Taking it about the 16. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And this is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now a handoff. Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a 1st down and more. And finally taken down at the 34. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to sack him. And that is 10 for him now on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point is always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested 1st half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense, if that fell harmlessly to the ground. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. Well, he may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw here on first down. Dancing to his left. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. A dump off for Mason. And here, a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Underneath for Johnson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. Extra point right down the middle.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here first and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll look to throw now on first down. A man over the middle, and it's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll throw now on the final play. And fighting down inside the 25. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where you see the final score there. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in their ball game as they fall to the visiting Washington Redskins. 28-10, the final. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Buying time to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Following the delay, here's second and 9. He'll drop to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your poop.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Zadarius Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's second and 18. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. And now, Charles, what do? You want to create some space here for your punter if you have to punt.
I think maybe you just go quarterback sneak and try and create that space and hope your punter can help you out.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Through the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot. And you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Johnson running left. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll set up to throw. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Austin Hooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
He got 29 yards that time. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll drop the throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Green 39! Green 39!
He'll look to throw. And he's got it. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints are back within a score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. That one looks like he'll throw here. That's caught over the middle. Hooper. Now the ball comes loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
He's back to throw. And he finds McDonald. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Back to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. They get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Looking to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. A give. This is Kamara. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Back to throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
Give him 18 yards on that one. Back to throw now on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this.
Back to the NFL. Here we go. Set. Green, 39. Green.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. And Lutz's kick is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive, they're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The 2 straight incompletions, and now you got a situation. You're down 3, so obviously you have 2 more downs to pick up the first. Back to the air on 3rd, I assume.
I would assume, but you also have to think to yourself, they got to pick up a first, right? They know they're down 3. They have to match, otherwise this game is over. Maybe they approach it as 2 downs to pick up the first down. If you decide to run a draw or some type of a screen, something to try and pick up yardage and make it a manageable 4th down, that could be the call coming.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. First down now, but that clock rolling. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They'll set up a throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. They'll look to throw here. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They're going to look to throw. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Atlanta, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they're